there, and I just saw that there were 10 people that tested positive in my zip code,
Right.
and you don't know who's carrying it,
Right.
no matter how safe you are. So I just soon say stay home or in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much what I'm doing too. I mean, I did go to a Harris Teeter off the island because, we live on Daniel Island. So
Right.
but there are a lot of people that live over here. It's lovely. I think I left the island once. Actually, I'm still taking, well, anyway, a Pilates class, but there are only 3 people in the class at a time. And,
Okay,
so
so
that's
that's
kind of nice.
still social distancing. You're like 6 feet apart at least.
Oh, absolutely. And the owner is a stickler anyway for cleanliness. I mean, every time we use anything, weights, a piece of equipment, we do the Pilates reformer, we wipe everything down, even before the coronavirus. So that place is just spotless. But anyway, that's been kind of nice to be able to have that. I've been working out upstairs. I've been walking the dog a lot. One thing I have noticed that I think has been very positive is I have these cute little neighbors that live across the street. And the daddy was having a tea party with his 2 little girls on the front porch, sitting in a tiny chair, having a tea party. And I thought, you know what? Coronavirus has done something nice, because I doubt that daddy ever would have had that tea party sitting on the front porch with those girls had he not been home, probably bored to death. So it's making families get together. I'm missing my family. I can't really see my mom and daddy right now because they're in their 80s and I'm scared to death. I'm going to give them something, even though I haven't been around many people. But I've been doing a lot of jigsaw puzzles. I've been binge watching, new shows. And
that's what I want to ask. What have you guys been watching?
Well, lately I've started watching this silly show called Heart of Dixie. It's got Rachel Bilson in it. It was made in the early, 2011 or whatever, but it's real cute. I've been watching that. Grace and Frankie, I watched all of those. Have y'all watched that? It's Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda. And then of course I watch Outlander. But
I don't have the virus.
Now, a lot of my friends are watching this craziness called Tiger King. Have y'all heard about that?
I've heard about it, and I'm going to start watching it tonight.
Yeah, I watched the first I got through about half of the first episode last night, and I'm like, what's all this about? Michael goes, well, maybe it'll get better. And I forgot to ask him this morning whether it got better or not, but just not my kind of. But there's evidently some wackadoodles on that show.
Evidently?
Have you watched
I saw a good movie last night on Amazon called Caroline. I thought it was real good.
Okay.
Caroline with 2 question marks behind it.
Oh, okay.
It's real good.
Okay.
So, I don't know about y'all. I feel like the happy hour gets earlier and earlier daily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It's like, what the hell is there to do? Like, I know real estate too. It's got to be the same for you, Bobby. But in the event business, there's not shit going on right now.
No, real estate, when I say is dead, we're not like we were. However, we put in practices to virtually show properties, because some people still have to move and sell, relocating. And so we've got some things enforced, but in terms of slowed down, oh my gosh, it's almost to zero. And then my Airbnb is canceled out.
Yeah.
People have canceled out all of April. I think the people for May are waiting to see what's going to happen. But I have usually a 93% occupancy rate, and it's sitting up there empty. Of course, I don't want anybody up there right now.
Right.
So I got plenty to do. It's just getting there's silver to be polished, yards to be worked in, gardens to be done.
But you have a pool. Oh my God, what I give to have a pool.
Well, I got a heater last year, and so, I never used it. So I cranked up the heater just to see, and cranked that thing up. And I'm like, okay, another few days like this, and I'll start hanging out in the pool.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's really nice, Bobby.
I'm good over here. I'm on lockdown. I live behind locked gates. So I'm in my own little compound, locked down over here.
Good.
I love it.
Good. Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know. I hope it doesn't last long, but I think, me, I always try to make lemonade out of lemons and always see the glass half full. But I think there's some good things coming out of it. Anytime something like that happens, there's kind of a cleansing.
yeah.
I mean, they're saying I was out on a friend's dock. It was my girlfriend's 40th birthday the other day. And there were 3 of us. And literally, we were all at a corner of the dock. And we had our little Trulies. And we were sitting there watching the dolphins. And we must have seen, I'm not kidding you, 15 to 20 dolphins at one time, right? Because they're so happy right now because there's no pollution. And I guess you have seen the pictures of the canals in Venice, Italy. You can see the fish. The water is clear. I don't know if you've ever been to Venice, but that's like the nastiest water on earth. It's just awful. And now it's just clear and pretty. So, maybe we all just needed to take a little break.
Well, and reevaluate what's really important.
Exactly.
I mean, like I was worried about, there's a garden that I've been wanting to get done on my property. And it's been like, oh, I got it. And now I'm like, does it really matter? I wanted some stuff done in the house, and I'm like, these are material things. They don't even matter. I don't care. I just want people to be healthy. And, there's so many people that are without work and might not have jobs to go back to in our restaurant industry and our friends there. I'm wearing my Crust t-shirt for my friends at Crust, trying to support them. They're still doing takeout. But, and Paddock, these are my hangouts because I hop on the golf cart and I'm down there in 5 minutes.
Have you gone on the golf cart to pick up? Have you been ordering?
I have.
We have too, a lot. Yeah.
And, I'm nervous about it. I'm scrubbing everything down. And, but, I want to support them because these are my neighborhood people.
I know.
And, I want them to be there when this is over.
Well, that's the thing. And that's why we have to. So very important. We had takeout. We have a good friend, Ben, who owns Red Drum on Coleman Boulevard, in Mount Pleasant. And oh my God, food is fantastic. And we did a wonderful takeout dinner the other night. And it was just delicious. And then last night we did Lidi, a little Italian place on the island. We're trying to do at least either lunch or dinner every day. I know it's expensive, but number one, it's keeping me from having to cook so much, which I can't get motivated, you guys.
Well, I have been cooking. I
know.
Quarantine snacks are one thing, and I've been, probably eating too much because I feel like I've been bored. But then I start doing some cooking, and and that's the thing. People that don't typically have the time to cook, now they have nothing but time. So they're creating some really fun things, and I'm loving following people on social media. I saw a funny thing online, it was the other day. It's like, now people are cooking, playing chefs. So now chefs are going to do their own Yelp reviews on their food. It's like, oh, Lord have mercy. What have you been cooking up, Bobby?
Yeah.
Oh, my word. You're not going to believe this, what I'm got laid out in the refrigerator. I have a Boston butt, 2 Cornish hens, a big hen, a pork tenderloin, and I'm getting ready to make a meatloaf, and it's all going in the smoker.
Yum.
And I'm going to smoke my smoker's pretty big.
Must be.
Honey, we don't mess around over here in Rebel and Terrace. We don't have any small smoker.
Everything's big.
It has 4 shelves. And see, I'll cook most of that or all of it, and then I'll just put it in the freezer and have it. And I've got it fine-tuned that I can pull it out of the freezer, put it under my broiler, and toast it up, and it's just like it came fresh off the smoker.
Now, are those kind of tips going to be in your recipe book? Those kind of tips?
They'll have to be in volume 2.
I know.
My manuscript is in.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
All right, well, start writing volume 2, honey, because this is going to be crazy and people are going to love it, and you're going to need helpful tips from the kitchen.
Yeah. I've got tips in this current one.
Yeah.
My niece Lindsay had given me a tip on how she did bacon. She just puts the whole thing of bacon on a baking sheet on tin foil in the oven for 400 at 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, what people don't know is you can take that bacon and put it right in a freezer bag and pull it out whenever you want it and break it up, and it's just like you just fried it.
Really?
Yeah.
You just defrost it. You don't put it in the microwave or anything. Yeah.
And that's a good shortcut if somebody doesn't want the bacon bits. Now, I think Costco's bacon pieces or whatever in that big bag,
They're incredible.
I think they're great.
They
And if
are.
you don't want to do that, that's what I use. If you don't want to do that, then that's the easy way to do your bacon and have it in the freezer and pull it out when you want.
Okay.
You guys know what I've been loving to see is like a lot of our Broadway friends and entertainers all over the world are getting on and doing their own, Facebook Live performances
I
these
love
days.
that.
I've got to throw a shout out to my buddy Nate Lopes, Natelopes,
Mhm.
also known as DJ Natty Heavy.
Oh, I saw him the other day. Yeah.
He's on right now in about like 10, 15 minutes, doing a big old boy band brunch mix kind of thing. So all your NSYNCs, all your Backstreet Boys, all your kind of 90s favorites to kind of jive. Because usually our show is one that has music, and we can't do that right now. But we did want to come to you. But yeah, DJ Natty Heavy or Nate Lopes, throwing out a shout out to you, my man. We hope you have a good show today. But I love seeing everyone doing their performances. I think it's
Yeah.
really cool.
Me too. Yeah. And I'm trying to share my friends that are putting their performances up. Oh, speaking of, Lawson, you've been doing your live Piano Man kind of thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Really
I
fun.
had some fun with it. I must admit it was very wine